Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about Unfortunate Love was how Ayush goes to stop Lakshmi's marriage wearing burqa. So Ayush made Lakshmi unconscious as Lakshmi was not trying to cooperate with him. And Lakshmi assures calmly that she is going to get her married to Balwinder. So let's continue from there. It is Lakshmi and Balwinder's wedding day. Rano asked Lakshmi to do her makeup properly, but she stopped, saying that Lakshmi is not talking. Shalu asked Lakshmi to vent out her anger on her, and she pretended as if Lakshmi is whispering something into her ears. She says you can say sorry to Aunt after the marriage. Rano thinks that she will take millions from Balwinder after the marriage, and she goes. Ayush jokes, but Bani asks him to be serious. Ayush asks Bani to make Lakshmi wear the burqa, and Bani and Shalu try to make Lakshmi wear the burqa. Neelam tells Virendra that she cannot bear it anymore, and she will go. Virendra says, you agree to come here. Neelam says, I did not know that cheap people will be here, and I am feeling suffocated. Virendra asks Neelam to sit, and he tells her that it was Lakshmi's wish that they should attend this wedding. He says, I don't know if we can meet Lakshmi later or not. Neelam says, how can you sit here? Virendra says, I am sitting here for my daughter. Grandma says, Balu might take Lakshmi away from here, so let us see her fully today. Bani tells Ayush that Balwinder's aunt is keeping an eye on them. Shalu asks Ayush to take Lakshmi and says she would distract Balwinder's aunt. Ayush asks if she can manage. Shalu says yes, and Ayush asks Shalu to hug him as a friend. Shalu says idiot, and she goes to distract Balwinder's aunt. Shalu goes out and tells Balwinder's aunt that her eyes are burning due to the kajal, and she asks her to go and bring water. Balwinder's aunt asks that what should I do? Shalu says Lakshmi's eyes are burning also, but Balwinder's aunt refused to go. Shalu says she will tell Balwinder that his aunt doesn't want to help Lakshmi. The aunt gets afraid and she goes to get the water. Shalu comes back to Ayush and Bani, and she asks Ayush to take Lakshmi outside with Bani and then call her, and then she will come out. Rishi is driving the car. His inner self appears beside him and asks what happened to him. Rishi says he is feeling suffocated and he thinks too much, but he doesn't know what to do. Rishi's inner self says you were missing Lakshmi and you were angry that Lakshmi is going to marry Balwinder. Rishi says yes, I am angry and something is happening in my body, but I cannot do anything. His inner self tells him that only him can stop Lakshmi's marriage, but Rishi says mom and dad have decided to do Lakshmi's kayadan, so how can he stop the marriage? Balwinder's aunt brings water and gives it to Shalu. Shalu says Balwinder will praise you for this. The aunt says she wants money. Shalu asks her to demand for 4 million rupees. She goes to the room and waits for Ayush's call. Rishi tells his inner self that Lakshmi doesn't listen to anyone, and his inner self asks that what does Lakshmi do when he asks her not to risk her life for him. Rishi says to his inner self that Lakshmi doesn't listen to me and she risks her life to save me. His inner self asks him to jump in and save Lakshmi. He says you both are separated on paper, but not by heart. He says maybe Lakshmi also feels the same, and he asks if Rishi will stop the marriage. Rishi says to his inner self that he will save Lakshmi and he will hear his heart and he will not let Lakshmi marry Balwinder. He says Lakshmi has saved me and now I will not let Lakshmi's life be in danger. He says even if Lakshmi beats me, even then I will still stop the marriage, and his inner self says let's do it. Ayush and Bani comes out bringing the unconscious Lakshmi, and they sees Gudu and others. Bani tells Ayush that Gudu and others are there, and she asks Ayush to hide with Lakshmi. Ayush says he cannot leave Lakshmi alone. Bani says she would hold her sister if she is too heavy for Ayush, and Ayush asks Bani to pray to God to help them. Bani prays and Gudu and his other friend leaves from there. Ayush makes Lakshmi sit in the car and he asks Bani to call Shalu. He says his phone is off and he asks her to call Shalu. Bani says even she has forgotten her phone inside, and Ayush asks Bani to go and call Shalu from someone's phone, and Bani thinks that their aunt must be having her phone. Shalu calls Ayush and Bani, but no response, and she thinks of what to do. She thinks that Ayush might have taken her sister away from here, and she thinks that even she should leave. Balwinder's aunt comes there and asks that where is Lakshmi. Shalu says she is in the washroom. Balwinder's aunt asks that where is Bani. Shalu says Bani went to Rano, and the aunt asks Shalu not to go until Lakshmi gets ready. Kamli is about to go to the wedding venue, but her foot gets hit by something, and she thinks that how will she go now? Rishi sees Malishka running on the road, and 2 goons are behind her, and Rishi turns his car to go to Malishka instead of going to Lakshmi and Balwinder's wedding venue. Ayush comes back to his car and he thinks if Bani has gotten to Shalu. Bani comes there and says she couldn't go inside because Balwinder's friends were inside. Ayush says they should leave and says that Shalu is clever and she will manage without them. He says the car AC is off and sister-in-law might be feeling hot. Ayush looks inside the car and he is shocked to find Lakshmi missing from the car and he asks Bani if she saw Lakshmi, but Bani says no. Balwinder asks Gudu to come somewhere. Malishka falls down near the gate. The goons comes to her and Malishka throws her paws on them. The goons tells Malishka that they want the bag also. Rishi is searching for Malishka and he is calling her name. Malishka kicks the goon and runs and she collides with Rishi and the goon comes there. The goons ask Malishka how much will she make them run. Malishka hugs Rishi and says thank God you have come and the goon says so you called your lover here. Malishka tells Rishi that the goons are dangerous and says she was going to the designer when a flashback is shown. Malishka gets down from the car seeing a guy on the road. The guy gets up and holds Malishka's hand. Another goon comes there and asks Malishka to give them a bag. Malishka takes the handbag and she runs and the flashback ends. Malishka asks Rishi not to fight with the goons. Rishi says when you have showed dareness and braveness by running with the bag, then I have to snatch the bag from them. The goon pretend as if he is scared of Rishi and they provoke him to fight with them. Rishi makes Malishka move and he walks towards the goons. Bani takes a phone from someone and messages Shalu to manage for some time. Rano and Balwinder's aunt comes to the bride room and they are about to lift the veil of the bride. Shalu is sitting as the bride covering her face with the veil and she stops them from removing her veil. Rano thinks that she will get millions of money from Neelam and Balwinder. Balwinder's aunt asks that where are the other girls? Rano asks that what do we have to do with the other girls? And she takes Shalu outside, thinking that she is Lakshmi. Ayush couldn't find the unconscious Lakshmi and he thinks if someone had kidnapped Lakshmi. At home, Karishma gives coffee to Kiran. Kiran says she is very worried about Malishka. Karishma says what happened? Rishi and Malishka are going to get married, so why are you worried? Kiran says the marriage haven't happened till now and the auspicious date is not taken out yet. Karishma says today her brother went to Lakshmi's marriage and she is very angry. Kiran says to Karishma that she will be afraid until Rishi and Malishka get married and says some hurdles always come in the way for them. Karishma says all the chapters of problems are closed just as Lakshmi's marriage happens. Kiran says I am praying for Lakshmi's marriage to happen so that my daughter Malishka's marriage can happen too. Balwinder sees the bride and he thinks that she is looking so beautiful in the bridal clothes and he thinks to see her face. Rano makes Shalu sit beside Balwinder. Balwinder is about to lift her veil, but his aunt stops him and asks him to see her face after their marriage. Balwinder asks the priest to read the wedding mantras fast and do whatever he knows and get the marriage done fast, and the priest started reciting the wedding mantras. Rishi beats the goons that were chasing Malishka. Malishka says leave them Rishi, we will go away from here. The goon eats Rishi but Rishi twisted his hand. Bani searches for Lakshmi and finds her burqa on the ground. Gudu comes out talking to someone and he asks Bani that what is she doing here. He says the wedding rounds are about to start and Balwinder is about to become her brother-in-law. He asks Bani to smile and he goes inside and Bani is shocked. Calmly rubs balm on her feet and thinks that her pain is less now. She thinks that now she would go and marry Balwinder. She thinks that my baby will get his father's name and nobody will call him illegitimate. Ayush thinks that he has to save Bani and Shalu because Balwinder might take out his frustrations on them. Bani comes to Ayush and says Gudu told me that my sister is inside and the marriage rounds are about to begin. The priest asks Balwinder and Shalu to stand up for the wedding garland exchange. Balwinder takes the garland and asks the bride to take it, but she is hesitant. His friend says if the bride doesn't marry Balwinder, then they will kill many people here. Grandma says that Lakshmi might have realized her mistake and that is why she is hesitant. Shalu thinks that Bani asks her to manage for some time, but now the wedding rounds will start. Balwinder asks the bride to pick the garland and Shalu picks the garland and Balwinder thinks that Lakshmi has become fire. Bani and Ayush get worried for Lakshmi and they couldn't bear that she went inside to get married, thinking that Lakshmi is the bride at the wedding altar. Kamli feels dizzy and she faints and falls down in her house. Rishi has beaten the goons and he made them fall down. He tells Malishka that he has to go somewhere urgently and says that his time is wasted here. Malishka says to Rishi that you have saved me and now you are saying that your time is wasted. She says you should come with me to the hospital. Rishi asks Malishka to understand and says you have to go somewhere urgently and he goes. Malishka kicked the goons and asked them to get up. She says you couldn't do even one work that I have given you and she refused to give them money. It turns out that Malishka hired the goons to harass her so that she can stop Rishi from getting to Lakshmi's marriage. She asks the goons to go and stop Rishi and the goons runs. The priest asks Balwinder and the bride to exchange the wedding garland. Rano tells Lakshmi that you are marrying for the second time, so why are you shy and hesitating? Neha tells Rano that she has fooled Lakshmi well by telling Lakshmi about her fake marriage and the fake priest, and she asks her to give her the money that she will get from Neelam and Balwinder. Balwinder makes Shalu wear the wedding garland, and Shalu is forced to make Balwinder wear the wedding garland too. Lakshmi is walking inside the wedding venue and she is still drowsy and she sits down near the car. Ahana comes there and asks Lakshmi if she is fine. She thinks if someone gave Lakshmi sedatives so that she can get married, and she thinks that someone is forcing Lakshmi to marry and she doesn't want to. Ahana says to the semi-unconscious Lakshmi that I have understood what you want, and she asks her to come with her and she takes Lakshmi to the car. Balwinder's friend is talking on the phone and they tells another friend that whoever comes for the wedding today will get unlimited alcohol. Ahana keeps Lakshmi in the car and she drives away. Bani tells Ayush that nothing can be done now and says this marriage is happening because Lakshmi wanted it. Ayush says sister-in-law does everything for others, but this time she has decided to marry to ruin her own life and we are helpless and we cannot do anything. Bani says this might be Lakshmi's fate. At least we should be with Shalu because she might be sad. Okay guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a like, don't forget to share it as well, and don't forget to check the comment section for the link to the next episode once it is available. And I will see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.